or in the case of Jamal Khashoggi, an actual friend of Osama bin Laden and a propagandist for the Muslim Brotherhood pro-terrorist network. Here's Jamal Khashoggi as a younger man. That's him in the middle, and he wrote this story too. This is exactly 30 years ago, 1988, in Afghanistan. He's with Osama bin Laden's crew and another al-Qaeda founder named Abdullah Azzam, and that's him holding the rocket-propelled grenade. Here's another picture of him. This was in the New York Times. That's Khashoggi holding what I think is an AK-47. So yeah, pretty friendly with the terrorist types, as a lot of Saudis are. And of course, there are terrorists who want to topple Saudi Arabia too, and there are terrorists funded by Saudi Arabia, and I suppose there are terrorists who are both funded by Saudi Arabia and want to topple Saudi Arabia. Osama bin Laden himself came from a wealthy Saudi family. It's a pretty awful country. And Jamal Khashoggi was an associate of the worst of them, and you could say of the best of them too. But he didn't just carry RPGs and guns. He was a journalist too. I showed you that piece he wrote from the terrorists in 1988. I think a propagandist might be a more accurate description. He was on a mission. Hey, I'm on a mission too with my journalism, but I'm just a conservative. I'm a Democrat. I have peaceful ideas. I don't blow things up. Khashoggi's friends did. He was an avid recruit to something called the Muslim Brotherhood. That's the worldwide Islamist network that has sharp terrorists in places like Hamas, but it has many more slow and steady Islamists in the establishment around the world, working on the soft jihad through politics and business and diplomacy. Khashoggi seemed to be a bit in both worlds. Like I say, his family likes to live dangerously. He was not an American citizen. He was not even a permanent resident of the United States. He did not have a green card, as some foreigners do. He was as American as I am, which is to say, not at all. But he had a column at Jeff Bezos's Washington Post newspaper where he would say what you'd expect him to say. Here's a column from him just a couple months ago. It's from August. The U.S. is wrong about the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Arab world is suffering for it. Yeah, pretty blunt, pretty honest. I guess you got to like that about him. He just didn't hide the fact that he loved him, the terrorism. And look at that. Look at that picture. I love that friendly picture of him in the corner there. He's no dummy. Americans might not be so willing to take advice on, terrorist groups from a guy holding a grenade launcher. So pretend he likes baseball or whatever that hat is. Yeah, it looks a friendly fella there. It looks like, I don't know, that kid singer Raffi. Maybe he'll sing a little song. So that's what he would publish in English in America when he makes himself look friendly and acceptable to the West. That cap is perfect. He's still a propagandist for Islamists, of course. Here's what he says to his Twitter audience, which is mainly people in Arabia. He's got 2 million followers. He's dead now, but when he was alive, look at this. Dear USA, your 9/11 is our 24/7. Sincerely, Palestine. Yeah, so I guess he's a journalist, but he's also a terrorist apologist and a critic of America and a longtime member of a terrorist affiliation called the Muslim Brotherhood. And he is a buddy of bin Laden. So that's who he is. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any nuances or gray areas in there. But I really don't care about nuances. He's not a lovely man. And more to the point, he's not an American. He's not a Canadian. He's a Saudi who got offside with the Saudis, and they lured him into the Saudi consulate in Turkey, and they murdered him. And that's nasty. But I think he's nasty. And I know Turkey's nasty. I think we're talking about a bunch of nasty people here. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.